Hey Matt, David Trungill here. I really appreciate you stopping by our sponsored hole number 6 at R&R Insurance. And again, I'm the owner of TraderTours.com where I do golf swing reviews. So I'll be the first to tell you that you have an awesome golf swing. I mean, this is excellent. The way you're coming down here, parallel to the plane line, this was just a bullet right down the fairway. Trying to remember, it maybe faded or drew a smidge. So, but you're in that top 5% of the bucket of good players that I saw teeing off. So there's really only two things that I'm going to bring up here that obviously you can choose to change or certainly leave it alone if you're playing good golf, right? So I have Adam Scott here as a lefty, and you can see that there's a red line I drew on the back of the hips. And the reason for that is hip depth is something in the golf swing that with elite players, whether that's a tour player or a lot of guys that are scratch or better, they tend to keep the hips deep. So check out Adam Scott here. As he goes back, his hips will stay in contact or actually behind that red line. Where with you do a phenomenal job of rotating your hips, but they are moving off of that line. So you are losing what we would call hip depth. You are moving closer to the golf ball. So if I were to mark your head, see how it's sliding forward. Now, this is ultimately coming from the ground up. I think that if you loaded more weight into your left or your trail side, it would put less pressure on the front of your right shin so that, again, you wouldn't have that maneuver. So a very simple drill at home. You can just park your hips against the corner of a wall, and even without a club, do some rehearsals where their hips are staying back, but we want to keep them rotating nicely like you are. So the other thing I would say, and by the way, if you load more weight into your trail side, I think your ball flight would be a little bit higher. This was a very nice shot, but I think you would potentially add 10 or 20 yards by getting more dynamic loft. I'm not sure if you've ever been on TrackMan, but again, your numbers, I would imagine, are pretty good based on the swing plane here. So, but lastly, again, if we go back to the Adam Scott model, and this isn't just Adam Scott, right? Whether it's Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood, one thing in your swing that, again, might be worth changing if you're struggling at times with ball contact or you're just not hitting the ball as well as you would want to, is if we pause him when his right arm is parallel to the ground, we can see how he's kind of matching the plane. So we'll call that, 50 degrees. And then what I'll do here is let's remove him so this is easier to see. You're getting that club a little bit behind you. So again, if I pause you and your right arm is parallel, 27 degrees, right? So that's a 23-degree differential. You're a little bit flat in the backswing, but once again, you do an amazing job of correcting this and coming down on the proper path because you're nice and parallel here, right? And that's ultimately what matters, just like Adam Scott. So I like to teach a swing that is parallel to the plane, as we call it. I think you'll be a little bit more consistent, but again, all in all, this is really superb. So let me know what you think of the video, if I can help you in any way, whether it's golf, whether you have feedback, business insurance, any of the above. Just give my cell phone a ring. It was really a privilege meeting you, and hope you enjoyed the outing. And thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.